Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Um, these walls are my favorite. Just kidding. Those are going soon. So obviously we are in our new house. I am anyways. And I'm really excited to finally get this video up. I've had a hard time not posting anything on social media, and I'm just so excited to finally talk about it. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Alyssa Osterhoff. I'm 19 years old and I recently just bought a house with my boyfriend, and I decided to finally make a YouTube and do videos of before, during, and after each room as we renovate, because there's a lot that needs done. But this video I'm actually going to talk about the backstory to our house and how we found it and the really cool thing behind it. I have been wanting to do this for forever, since I found out, and I've been really excited. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the story. Obviously I'll get to the point. So about 7 months ago, 6 or 7 months ago, Josh and I first started looking into houses, and when he first brought it to my attention, I was like, we're so young, why do we need to buy a house? And I just didn't really see the bigger picture. And once I realized that it was possible, I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's do it. We looked at a couple of houses. We got with our realtor. We figured out everything that we had to do to get on board. And like I said, we looked at a couple of houses, and I just wasn't feeling it. I just honestly was not feeling it. And I finally, at the time, Josh and I were living in a little trailer, which was really nice. It was just too small. We needed to upgrade. So at the time, we really wanted out of our trailer, but I was in such a hurry to get out that I didn't want to just rush into a house. I didn't want to rush into the first house that we came across. I wanted to, take our time and find our house. So we, like I said, looked at a couple, and I just wasn't having it. So I finally talked to Josh and I convinced him. I was like, okay, how about we wait a year and we get into a different place. We moved into a townhome. I was like, how about we wait a year and that'll give us time to figure out what exactly we want and what we need, and that'll make us to where we don't have to rush into a house. And as much as he didn't want to do that, he said, okay, he agreed with me. So that's what we did. We got into a bigger place, and then a couple months go by, 4 or 5 months go by, actually about 6 months, and our realtor gets with us and is like, hey guys, I know you don't want to buy a house right now, but sometimes it takes up to a year to find your perfect house. So I just wanted to see if you guys were up to looking again. That way you don't have to rush into the first house that you find, but that'll give you time to find the perfect house. And I said, okay, yeah, no problem. We can totally start looking again. I think that that's a really great idea. So that day, or 2 days later, I was looking on all the house things, and I came across this house, and the price was just awesome, and the room was amazing. The space, the area, the location was ideal. It's right where I wanted to be if I ever bought a house. And so we got with our realtor, and we're like, okay. And this was 2 days after he had even talked to us again, and we're like, okay, hey, we came across this house. Kind of seems too good to be true, but do you think we could check it out? He's like, yeah, let's do it. So we get to this house, and okay, backtrack a little bit. I was letting my mom know that we were gonna go look at this house, and I showed her a couple pictures, just a few pictures that were online, and she, for some reason, thought it looked familiar, but didn't know why. Whatever. Get to this house, we look at it, and I was actually surprised. I was like, wow, this is actually not bad. I was like, I think I see us living here. I was like, it needs some work, but Josh and I wanted a fixer-upper. We want something that we can turn into our own. And I was like, yeah, I kind of like it. I really do. It had a 2-car garage, big fenced-in yard. It had everything that we wanted. Like I said, the location, everything like that. And so our realtor was like, okay, well, why don't you talk it over, think about it. Obviously, you guys didn't want to rush into the first house that you found, but this could be the home for you. I was like, it could be. So I was thinking about it, you know, I had some feeling. I honestly I had this feeling that this was the house, and I didn't know why. And so we went to my parents' house, and I was talking to them a little bit, and I showed my mom more pictures that I had taken. And then she asked me the address, and I told her, and she paused. And I was like, what? And she's like, I'm almost 99% sure that is Grandma and Grandpa's old house. I was like, no way. I was like, no way. She's like, yeah. She's like, call Grandma right now and ask her. So I did. I called my grandma and I was like, hey, what's this house that you guys used to live on this street? And she's like, yeah. She's like, what about it? And I was like, well, Josh and I actually looked at it today, and we might consider maybe buying it. She's like, no way. And I was like, yeah. She's like, I would have swore that the house would have already sold by now. I was like, what do you mean? It's only been on the market for 3 days. She's like, no, it was on the market about 6 months ago. Mind you, that was the first time that we looked at houses. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, it was for sale because I drove by it. I was like, okay, that's crazy. And so sure enough, found out that this house that we actually did buy, that I am in right now, was my grandparents' old house. And at the time, we had no idea, absolutely no idea. And so I looked at Josh and I was like, okay, I don't know what we have to do, and I don't even know if it's possible. I was like, but let's get with Kevin and let's tell him we want it. And he's like, okay, are you sure? I was like, I'm sure. So that is the crazy story about this house. I think my grandma was more excited than we were. She got here before us to check it out, and this actually was her old room. So I just think that that is so amazing, and that this is 100% meant to be for us, especially the fact that it was on the market the first time we were looking. And I think we came across it. I don't remember. We never had interest in it if we did come across it. But so it was on the market 6 months ago when we first started looking, and for some reason they took it off, and it happened to go back on the market the same week we decided to start looking again, and the process was pretty fast. And I am just so amazed at how this has worked out. We get to turn this into our home, and I'm so excited to put our own touch on it. So thank you guys so much for watching. That is the amazing little story behind the house. So we are living in my grandparents' old house. They actually sold it to, my grandparents sold it to the parents of the lady who owned it. And when they passed away, the daughter lived here for her whole life, and now it's back into my family, which is just incredible. I got the chills. I was like, okay, like, let's do this. It was just amazing. That brings me to another point, that I'm very big into the law of attraction, and I hands down believe that that is why God put this house into our lives. We have stayed completely positive about this whole house searching thing, and even when it got hard, we agreed that this wasn't our time, and that our time will come, and when it's meant to be, it will happen. So that is all. If you guys are going through anything in your lives, please, please, please be positive about it. Even if it's hard, you got to stay positive, stay with it, and it will come into your life when it's meant to be. That could do with anything. If you need a new car, actually my car also came into my life because of the law of attraction, 100%. I will do videos on other things relating to the law of attraction later, if that's something that anybody is interested in, because I am a firm believer in it. So like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe. We are doing a little bit of work here and there, but I will get a video up probably within the next week of our first room that is finished. We have a lot of work to do, a lot of rooms, but I'm so, so, so excited. So thank you guys so much for watching. That is the amazing story behind the house, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. Have a good day.